again, wrestling fans, and welcome to the inaugural edition of a brand new wrestling radio podcast. This is Wrestledope. You can find us at www.wrestledope.com. And first of all, I'd like to say hello. My name is Darren. This is Stephen.
Howdy.
It is a new show, and we're going to do our best to cover all of the major companies: WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, FCW, all the notables.
It's all happening at Wrestledope.com.
Yes, indeed it is, and we are basically here to cover wrestling. Not so much sports entertainment, which over time we really have come to hate. We're pure wrestling fans. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. From when we were kids, right up until now, a good number of years. Without doubt, we are true wrestling fans, not newcomers. True. Damn true.
100%, and what Stephen says is exactly true. Fans since the early days, back in the 90s. We started in with a lot of people of our generation. It was a real boom period for the WWE. Back in the days of SummerSlam 92, Bret Hart versus British Bulldog. That's what we grew up on.
That's what we did grow up on. When a nice Saturday afternoon, you could be sitting in your cousin's front room watching things go down at Wembley, when the only pay-per-view to happen from the WWE bar places like Canada. So it was a big deal for us as kids, without doubt.
That indeed it was, and that's a kind of a background of basically where we came from. We are old school wrestling fans, but we still watch the new product, and that's one thing I know a lot of fans have kind of pretty much stopped watching the new product. They've no interest in guest hosts on Raw. Well, ECW, that's now gone. Not that it even was there in the last couple of years. And then, of course, SmackDown, which I have to say has improved.
To an extent, yeah. It's good to see Drew McIntyre getting the push, and we can deal with R-Truth. It's not the worst, but yeah, SmackDown, primetime, definitely.
Yes, SmackDown has certainly been interesting. Now we're going to start basically with what we feel is probably the most unique concept that's been seen on WWE television for many years, and that would be NXT. It's started this past week, and, well, it's definitely, as promised, a revolutionary concept. It's kind of a reality show / wrestling show, and I found it really interesting to see that after that many years of reality TV, finally the WWE, they've had their tough enough indeed, but they're taking on that more kind of a live concept, almost like sort of a Big Brother style intro packages for the wrestlers, such as Daniel Otunga.
Yeah, Daniel Otunga. Dave Otunga, man.
Exactly. That's everyone's reaction to Daniel Otunga. He's a surprise because, first of all, I was pretty much blown away by the fact that Jennifer Hudson, that he's actually Daniel Otunga, or David Otunga, I'm not even remembering that, is basically his significant other.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good scoop for Vince, He's no fool to how to work it out there, and I think having Otunga up on the main roster pretty soon, I'll give it 3 months, he'll be IC champ without a doubt. Being in the Hollywood spotlight is WWE in the Hollywood spotlight, and that's Vinnie Mac's working it. He knows it.
David Otunga. I'm probably going to make that mistake more than once because, of course, and that's a segue, I'm referring to Daniel Bryan. That's the one part of NXT that stood above all others, was the debut, if you like, of the man that we know as Bryan Danielson.
Absolutely. Bryan Danielson, king of the independents to a lot of people out there, definitely. Pairing with The Miz, good call out of the old creative department there. And I think it's a good thing for the focus to be on him. Definitely starting to show off with him with the big promo and all that stuff. Because he is going to be the guy, I think, out of your Daniel Otungas and all that. I think definitely Bryan Danielson will be the man there. Yeah.
Yes, indeed, and of course it's going to be a big struggle for a lot of people to start referring to him as Daniel Bryan. It's not that big of a change, but it's the type of thing that will probably have a lot of internet smart marks. Really, they'll struggle with this one. But his name is Daniel Bryan, and we're pretty much going to have to live with it. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do with him. Personally, I think he works very well.
Yeah, he's certainly a good talent, and we saw that in the Jericho Danielson match as the main event there. It's a big surprise, obviously, to Bryan Danielson, obviously not knowing what he was up against that night. But a good display. He's great in the ring. Took a pretty nasty bump on the outside, but that aside, I think he could dance the dance with Jericho any day.
Absolutely, of course, very interesting to see Chris Jericho and The Miz. They are on the same... We're going to pause there a second and we'll continue. Very interesting to see Chris Jericho and The Miz on television together. They, of course, have a bit of a rivalry going on Twitter. If you're a member of Twitter, you may very well have seen Chris Jericho and The Miz. They go at it like you wouldn't believe. It's hard to know whether it's kayfabe or shoot.
Both heavy on the kayfabe buzz there, but interesting stuff all the time over and back, especially for Miz on the most part, but definitely worth checking out. Probably your best bet would be pwtweets.com for all you tweeters out there.
pwtweets.com, one of the real hidden treasures of the internet dirt sheets. The thing that's so great about PW Tweets, and we talked about this, is that the news breaks there a lot quicker than it will filter down to the Lords of Pains, the Rajas, and all the major dirt sheet websites. If you want to know if something has happened or whether it's just rumor, have a look at pwtweets.com, because quite often you'll find the wrestlers are tweeting. And, in fact, the new NXT roster, they have all, one by one, in fact, joined Twitter. I think nearly all of them are there now.